Good evening aspirants, welcome to Daily News Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss three important articles in Prelims exam perspective. The first article is about National Green Tribunal. The second article is about polio and polio vaccines. The third article is about tokenized cards. So these are three important articles from today's newspaper and let us discuss them. Now look at the first article. It is about National Green Tribunal. The National Green Tribunal has imposed a penalty of 1026 crore on Punjab government for violating environmental laws. So the penalty has to be compensated with Central Pollution Control Board. So this is a fine imposed by NGT on Punjab government. So this is the news. So in this context, we are going to discuss about National Green Tribunal for our prelims exam. The National Green Tribunal was established under National Green Tribunal Act 2010. Now what is the purpose and the aim of creating NGT? NGT was created to ensure effective and expeditious disposal of cases relating to environmental protection, conservation of forest and natural resources. It also aims to ensure environmental rights and provide relief and compensation for environmental damage to persons and property. So effective disposal of environmental cases, enforcement of environmental rights and providing relief and compensation. So these three are important purpose of creating NGT. Now let us see the jurisdiction under NGT. See, Schedule 1 of NGT Act has following acts which comes under its jurisdiction. The Water Prevention Control of Pollution Act 1974, Water Prevention Control of Pollution Cess Act 1977, Forest Conservation Act 1980, Air Prevention Control of Pollution Act 1981, Environment Protection Act 1986, Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, Biodiversity Act 2002. So these 7 important acts comes under the jurisdiction of NGT. Now looking at the 5 zonal benches. NGT has 5 important zonal benches. The first one is Northern Zone, which has its capital in Delhi, Central Zone with capital at Bhopal, Eastern Zone with its capital at Kolkata, Southern Zone at Chennai, Western Zone at Pune. So these are the 5 important zonal benches of NGT. Now looking at the composition, NGT has a chairperson and it has 10 to 20 judicial and expert members. The judicial members will guide in legislative issues and expert members are there to provide technical details. All the decisions taken under NGT are equivalent to civil court orders and NGT is guided by the principle of natural justice. Here the natural justice means the justice which is delivered by what is right and what is wrong and not by strict procedures. So this is the principle of natural justice which guides NGT. NGT has a power of reviewing its own decisions like other courts. If a party is dissatisfied with the ruling of NGT, they can appeal with the Supreme Court within 90 days. So the appeal of NGT relies with the Supreme Court. Now looking at the significances. NGT is focused on environmental issues, ensuring speedy environmental justice, thereby significantly reducing the burden on higher courts. By providing a specialized forum for environmental litigation, NGT plays a pivotal role in addressing India's growing environmental challenges. So thereby it upholds legal protection of natural resources. The existence of NGT has led to heightened environmental governance, encouraging stricter compliance with environmental laws. It also acts as a deterrent against environmental violations by ensuring swift and effective legal consequences. This is all about this news article. In this discussion, we have seen the basics of NGT. Now look at this article. It talks about the tokenized cards. See, a person in Mumbai has entered a wrong CCV number in his online payment, but the payment was successful. The bank has explained that even though we entered wrong CCV number, the card was accepted because it is a tokenized card. So what is tokenized card? What is tokenization? Let us see in this article. See, card tokenization is a security process where actual card details such as the card number and expiry date are replaced with unique encrypted token. So this is the card tokenization. The card tokenization happens when card holders save their cards on online platforms or mobile apps. This token acts as a substitute for real card information during transaction. So thereby it significantly reduces the risk of card details being compromised. Even though all the details of the card are already saved, the CCV is not encrypted. So it is traditionally needed for online payments. Now let us see the importance of card tokenization, that is the positives of card tokenization. Firstly, it provides enhanced security. Since tokenization replaces sensitive card details with encrypted tokens, the actual card information is not stored on merchant servers. So thereby it enhances the security of cards. So this minimizes the risk of data being breached. And the second positive impact is convenience. Cardholders can save their cards on frequently used apps or websites, making a checkout process very faster and easier. So there is no need to repeatedly enter the card details for every transaction. So this is a convenient for customer. The third important positive aspect is two-factor authentication. See, this is an additional security layer. Even with the CCV being optimal in tokenized transactions, the requirement of OTP is necessary for tokenized cards. So there will be a requirement of OTP for every transaction, and it adds an extra layer of security. So this is another important positive aspect. Now looking at the negatives of card tokenization. The first one is about potential security gaps. The decision made by some card networks to make CCV optimal for tokenized payments raises security concerns. So if someone gains unauthorized access to the cardholder phone, they could potentially make payments without needing the CCV. So this is an important potential security gaps which must be addressed. For example, if the phone is stolen by someone, then the dependence on OTP is also a problem. The second disadvantage is risk associated with the case of lost or stolen devices. So this is actually what we have seen here. The third disadvantage is limited security on some platforms. There is variation in security features in many online platforms. Not all platforms require additional authentication like password or biometrics. So this makes it vulnerable for unauthorized use. Another important disadvantage is over-reliance on technology. In rare cases, technical issues in tokenization process could lead to problems with payment processing or even security breaches. So these are the important disadvantages regarding card tokenization. With this, let us conclude the discussion. Here we have seen some important disadvantages and advantages of card tokenization and what is card tokenization. With this, let us move on to the next news article. Now look at this article. The article discusses a recent case of acute flaccid paralysis in Meghalaya. So in this context, let us discuss the basics of poliovirus and the vaccines. Poliomyelitis, which is also called polio, is a highly infectious viral disease caused by poliovirus. It primarily affects young children and can lead to paralysis or even death in severe cases. Talking about the transmission of virus, it spreads through fecal or oral route, often through contaminated food and water. It can also spread through direct contact with the infected person. Now talking about the symptoms, most people affected with the poliovirus show no symptoms. Some people may develop flu-like symptoms, and in severe cases, it leads to paralysis and death. Now let us see the types of polio vaccines. First important thing is oral polio vaccine. It contains weakened strains of poliovirus. It is administered orally, and that is why it is called as oral polio vaccine. It induces immunity in the intestine, which is also called as gut immunity, and it prevents spreading of virus from one person to another. So it is widely used in mass vaccination campaigns because it has ease of administration. Now the second type of polio vaccine is inactivated polio vaccine. It contains inactivated or killed poliovirus, and it is injected rather than orally administered. It induces immunity in bloodstream, preventing virus from causing paralysis. So the oral polio vaccine causes immunity in intestine, whereas the inactivated polio vaccine causes immunity in bloodstream. Compared to oral polio vaccine, inactivated polio vaccine is safer. It has no risk of vaccine-derived polio. So these are the two important polio vaccines. Now let us see the status of polio vaccination in India. India was declared polio-free by World Health Organization in 2014. This is achieved through extensive vaccination campaigns. See, the polio vaccination program, that is Pulse Polio Vaccination Program, was introduced in 1995. This Pulse Polio Vaccination Program aimed to immunize all children under 5 years of age with oral polio vaccine during the nationwide campaign. The inactivated polio vaccine was also introduced into routine immunization program for building stronger immunity. So this IPV has advantage of preventing vaccine-derived polio cases. So the children are given multiple doses of both OPV and IPV to ensure complete immunity against all strains of poliovirus. So this is all about the discussion. Now let us see the prelims practice questions. Look at the first question. Which of the following statements about vaccine-derived poliovirus are correct? Look at the first statement. Vaccine-derived poliovirus can only arise in individuals with a healthy immune system. Immune-derived vaccine-derived poliovirus, that is IVDPV, is less likely to spread in community compared to circulating vaccine-derived poliovirus. See, this statement is correct. The use of oral polio vaccine in areas with existing IVDPV can potentially lead to emergence of CVDPV. This statement is also correct. Vaccine-derived poliovirus can regain virulence and cause paralysis and death, but this is extremely rare. Yes, this is also correct statement. If you look at the first statement, vaccine-derived poliovirus can only arise in individuals with immunity deficiency, not with healthy immune system. So this statement is incorrect. So the correct answer for this question is option B, 2, 3 and 4 only. Now moving on to the second question, which of the following statements about card tokenization in online transaction is correct? Card tokenization replaces actual credit card details with encrypted tokens to enhance security. So this is correct, as we have seen this in discussion. The CVV, that is card verification value, is always required for tokenized transaction to ensure their security. This statement is incorrect because CVV is not always required. So this is an important advantage of card tokenization. Tokenization simplifies transactions by storing credit card details on merchant servers. This statement is also incorrect because it doesn't store the credit card details on merchant servers, because card tokenization enhances security by removing this card details in merchant servers. So the option 1 only is correct. Now look at the third question. NGT is primarily guided by which of the following principles? The correct answer is option C, principles of natural justice, because NGT is not guided by strict procedural rules or other civil code or criminal procedure codes or any other laws. It is guided by principle of natural justice. Here natural justice means what is right, what is wrong, and this is called natural justice. So with this, we have come to the end of the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy. Thank you.